Greetings and welcome to episode 222 of the Words About Gamescast, the weekly video game podcast for words about games. I'm your host, Amy K. Alexander, and I'm only just now cracking up with the fact that I just did that as the intro for the podcast. I'm good. And I'm joined this week by the glorious one himself, Mr. Distinct on tuna. He's gone into some kind of trance, or he's having a seizure, or he's listening to music and he's just really into it. It's Mr. Daffin Moody. How you doing, Moody?
Doing?
Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm not bad. Not bad at all. Week's been alright. Been not bad at all. Chilled. Played some games.
That's good.
Watched some stuff. Played some more games. Pretty good.
Sounds pretty tough.
Finished the best Halo, so can't deny that.
Yeah. We should be finished, all of them.
That's
but
true.
My internet didn't work and you didn't have the game downloaded, so we couldn't. And now keeps resisting.
Doesn't he do that all the time now?
Where it's like, oh, we need to do Halo 5. Well, I can't do it on the days that you and Moody want to do it. Great. Maybe me and Moody will
We should have just done it without him, you know?
I think we're going to have to. But you know when I was like, let's do it Monday, and yeah, I'm calling you out here, Keith. You know when I was do it, let's do it Monday and Thursday, and like split it into two. Because I was thinking about streaming on those 2 days anyway, and then motherfucker arranges D&D for Monday night, and I was like, well, now I definitely can't do it on Monday night. It's like, okay, I see how this is. Moody's going to be so disappointed. He's been talking about Locke for a month.
I know. He is the best character ever.
100%.
Like, he has a name. Unlike Master Chief.
Master Chief has a name. You're not paying attention.
That's his rank, isn't it?
That's his rank. John's his name. She calls him it in like Halo 4. Like a
Yeah. We call them Johns, don't we?
John
Does.
John 117.
John 117.
I did a bit. I did a bit for episode 117 of the podcast. I classed it as a milestone. That's so long ago. That's more than 100 episodes ago.
That is true.
Now it's 222. All the numbers are the same, Moody. 222.
Dun, dun, dun.
Just wait till you see what I'm going to do when we get to episode 666. Or episode 420, where we just do drugs for the entire episode.
Drugs. Hard drugs. What we all want to do one day. Don't do drugs, kids.
Don't do drugs. I did drugs.
Like, legit.
And don't. You just eat everything in sight. And giggle on a couch. But at nothing. Like,
I don't get the excitement for that.
I mean, it was... I don't know how far I should talk about this, given that we're like, don't do drugs, but it was better than alcohol. Like, it was vastly superior to alcohol. I'll give it that.
Don't do alcohol either, kids.
Nah, alcohol's stupid. I don't understand alcohol. Like...
Yeah. I agree. Alcohol is stupid.
I've never understood it. Like, I've never needed alcohol. I have a good time. And I always tell people, like, you know, all the stupid shit I do and say, I'm sober. I don't need alcohol in my life because I'm fucking nuts enough already. But this isn't a drug awareness podcast, Moody. This is a video game podcast. where every single Monday we discuss what's going on in gaming, the games industry, and games culture. In this week's episode, we discuss everything announced at Nintendo's 35th anniversary Mario Direct, EA adding intrusive ads to its $60 microtransaction-laden UFC game, Spiritfarer's ableist storyline and the dev's response, and more. Then we'll go over all the new game announcements for the past week, give you a content drop where we recommend some articles you should read and some videos you should watch. Spoiler alert, they're all videos this week. We'll tell you what games are coming out over the next 7 days, and then we'll play OpenCritic head-to-head, where we guess the OpenCritic average of one upcoming game. And as always, we'll wrap the show up with a post-show discussion and chat about whatever's on our mind. I imagine we're going to have quite a long post-show discussion, because there's the news in terms of the number of news things is about average for our podcast. The quality.
Do you think we will get food news fast? Do you?
The quality of the news and the amount of discussion I think we're gonna have about most of it isn't. It's not on the level of, hey, Ubisoft made a super racist, fascist simulator mobile game. Like, there's nothing like that this week. It's quite nice this week, actually.
Yeah, it's pretty quiet.
Like, it's not wholesome by any stretch of the imagination, and some of the language I'll use when talking about certain companies, Microsoft, is probably going to be a bit blue, a bit R-rated, but yeah, we'll probably get through it quite quickly. Anyway, this introduction is stretching out. There are timestamps in the description below the video on YouTube, so if you want to watch this podcast in any order that you want, or if you only want to watch specific parts of it, or you want to watch the whole thing backwards, that's absolutely fine. We don't mind. We're just happy that you're here, hanging out with us. We like hanging out with all of you out there.
Jam that jam, ladies and gentlemen. Jam that jam.
I'm starting to get into that realm of YouTube, like, subscriber numbers and view numbers, where I'm starting to get comments semi-regularly. And, like, some of them are spam. Which is fine. You know, I don't judge, right? Bots be botting. But some of them aren't, and it's weird. It's like every other day I get like a new comment and I'm like, oh, that's nice. Or fuck off. And usually it's only those two responses. Or, don't call me bro, dickhead. That's a good one. That would be my response to the comment. I've never called anyone bro in my life. Sincerely. I've probably called people bro before, like, ironically. But never sincerely. Anyway, let's talk about Mario.
Me, a Mario.
Big thanks to Tom Phillips at Eurogamer who wrote this article. Everything announced in Nintendo's Super Mario Bros. 35th Anniversary Direct. And I say big thanks because that meant that I didn't have to remember everything that was announced. Because it's all written down here and I didn't have to go looking for it. Nintendo has at last lifted the lid on its celebrations for Super Mario Bros. 35th Anniversary via a Nintendo Direct broadcast stuffed full of Mario games old and new. Mostly old. Headlining the announcements was the re-release of Mario's three 3D platforming classics: Super Mario 64, Super Mario Sunshine, and Super Mario Galaxy. Eurogamer throwing shade there at Super Mario Galaxy 2, the actual best game of all of those ones. The Super Mario 3D All-Stars collection will arrive on 18th of September, but will be removed from sale at the end of next March. Speaking of Mario collections, the original Super Mario All-Stars pack, released back on the SNES, is now available to play via Nintendo Switch Online. Online subscribers will find it in their catalogue today, I guess, yeah, allowing them to once again play Super Mario Bros., Super Mario Bros. The Lost Levels, Super Mario Bros. 2, and Super Mario Bros. 3. A deluxe version of Wii U platformer Super Mario 3D World was also revealed. This was another announcement which I leaked ahead of time. Officially titled Super Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury, the game is a little further away from release. It'll arrive on Switch on the 12th of February 2021, with more details to follow on the mysterious new gameplay sections first teased in the Direct. On to the surprises, beginning with a competitive multiplayer version of Super Mario Bros. Inspired by Tetris 99, this is Super Mario Bros. 35, where you play against 35 other players to become the last plumber standing. It arrives on the 1st of October and will only be playable until the 31st of March 2021. A wonderfully inventive augmented reality version of Mario Kart was also revealed. Mario Kart Live Home Circuit lets you drive real Mario Kart toys around your living room via virtual tracks, which duck through and around your furniture. Either a Mario and Luigi toy will ship alongside copies on the 16th of October. Not going to read about the mobile game. It wasn't just Mario software. A dinky Game & Watch Super Mario Bros. Handheld was revealed for launch on November 13th, neatly fitting into this year's stocking filler spot previously taken up by the NES and SNES mini consoles. This device will let you play the original Super Mario Bros. Game and will also act as an alarm clock, among other things. Many other Nintendo games will also get in on the celebrations. Super Smash Bros. Ultimate will host an online tournament with classic Mario characters and items in November and December. Super Mario Maker 2 will get an anniversary-themed Ninja Speedrun course in November, and Splatoon 2 will host a Super Mario-themed Splatfest in January 2021. Perhaps most excitingly, Animal Crossing New Horizons fans will be able to add Super Mario-themed furniture to their islands, though not until March 2021. And then there's some physical stuff on the Nintendo store. Like Legos and stuff. And Super Mario Monopoly. Go figure. Moody? I mean, we knew most of this already. Like, I'd love to be like, whoa, Nintendo dropping the... But we knew most of this was coming. The re-releases, the Mario All-Stars pack... It's like sounds really cool, where it's like, oh, it's the old ones, Mario 1 and 2 and 3, but it's like they were all already available on Switch Online because I almost streamed them, so I knew they were there. And they've just packaged them into the All-Stars pack, which was a thing on the SNES. So 0 points for effort on that one, Nintendo. I guess. What do you think? What are your thoughts? Hit me. What are you buying, stranger? Sorry.
I'm not buying any.
I lapsed into
right
Resident Evil there. I apologize.
I can tell you that I'm not buying any of it or even renting any of it. Because this is a great thing if you're a huge Mario fan and have been wanting to go back to those old games on the new console and everything like that. So this is fantastic. They took over the day when it came out because I believe it was literally a surprise drop. Like no one knew it was coming out. This Mario Direct, quote unquote. I think it was a good little direct. I thought it was well paced.
I think it was rumored in the morning, and then it's dropped in the afternoon.
Yeah, so like it's a big drop. Definitely that we all knew what was coming. I think the Mario Battle Royale is genius. I'll say that right now. That is absolute genius. Well done to them on that. I think that's going to take over so many people's lives when it comes to Nintendo who love Nintendo and love Mario. This is a really, really good thing. It's a good little thing. I think I love a lot of people like throwing shade at like that. Oh no, they don't have Super Mario Galaxy 2. Why don't they have that or anything like that? And I'm just like, that's their choice. At the end of the day, that's what they want to do. It's not anyone else's decision. You don't have that decision. It's them who give you that decision to whenever they want to drop that. If they actually want to drop that, they might have actual bigger plans for that overall.
Look, who knows? Guys, I love Mario Galaxy 2 as much as the next person who thinks Mario is okay. Not amazing, personally, not a big 3D platforming fan. Nintendo never miss an opportunity to sell you something you've already bought. Trust me.
Yeah.
How many times have they re-released games on new platforms?
That's fact. Like I said, people may get annoyed at like PlayStation and Activision and all like that, which we'll be talking about soon. Or some of the other bad companies, or mean quote unquote mean companies, but they all do it. And Nintendo always seems like to get a free pass for it for some weird reason. So
Nintendo get a free pass for a lot of things.
It's what we need.
Not on this podcast, damn it!
I thought the little direct thing flowed well and moved along with a nice, beautiful pace. Can't say anything bad about this. If you're a Nintendo fan who's been screaming, "What are Nintendo doing this year?" Boom. Yes, this was probably meant to have been shown earlier. probably at E3 this year. Probably, I bet this was probably going to be their E3 showing overall. And obviously, they've held it as long as they've always held it as long as they felt like they could to also make sure can
All
we
these
get these
things are
games
coming
out
out.
during this pandemic crazy stage and everything. Yeah, so they've obviously got to the part where yes, we can do this, and that's fantastic. So well
Yeah,
done to Nintendo and everything.
this is definitely like the second half of their E3 Direct. You know how they do like the first part of the E3 Direct where it's like, here's a bunch of third parties and smaller Nintendo games like Mario Tennis. And then the second half is always like the big thing. Like the Smash Bros. Like the Direct where it was like, it ended with like half an hour of Smash Brothers, or the Direct that ended with like half an hour of Zelda, you know, stuff like that. And it was like, this is the second half of it. The first half of it probably doesn't exist anymore. Like, I have questions about this though. Like, questions and thoughts. My first immediate thought is it's nice of them to remember that Mario Maker 2 exists. The game they sent out to fucking die with no support. Thanks, Nintendo. I was really looking forward to that. And then you just let it drop like a fucking rock. You just let it die. Like you might as well have killed it yourselves. You fucking bastards. But anyway.
Well, it really depends because like they don't really support. They don't throw out content for Mario Kart anymore, and that still sells really well.
Mario Kart's
So
different.
it all depends if they're selling. If it's still selling numbers for them well enough, and they haven't thrown out content for it, they're probably just like people are still buying it. We're good.
Yeah, but like Mario Kart's a replayable game. Like Mario Maker 2 is only as playable as the amount of people who are making levels for it. And if they're not supporting it post launch, it's like Mario Party. Like Mario Party probably did quite well because it was quite well received when it came out a couple of years ago, and they were probably like, "Oh, this did quite well, reasonably well." But no one plays it anymore. If Nintendo actually supported Mario Party with post-launch content, new boards, new mini games, like that game would launch into the fucking stratosphere in terms of people actually playing that game. But sometimes Nintendo just don't seem like they don't like money. And I want to segue in. They do. Like making their fucking little mini consoles so like rare. So that people who want them can't buy them and have to buy them from scalpers, which Nintendo sees 0% of the money from, and I don't understand why they're not just manufacture enough to make more. Like, so that everyone can have one. It's the false scarcity thing. Where it's like, ooh, it's sold out everywhere, it must be popular. No, you only made like fucking 7 of them. That's why it's sold out everywhere. And it's the same with this, where this is a really good Direct, and I really enjoyed a lot of it. I think that Mario Kart home circuit thing is fucking genius. I could take or leave Super Mario Brothers 35. It's like, of all the things I wanted from a brand new Mario game, it being a Tetris 99 style battle royale. Okay, sure. But really, why are some of these games only available until March? What's the thinking? Why? Why be like, we've put all this work into making the 3D All Stars collection and Super Mario Brothers 35, and then be like, cool, and we're just gonna turn it off on March 31st. Like, what? Why? Who does that? Who does that?
I honestly don't know, so I can't give you an answer to that.
Like,
that's them. They want to do it this way. That's their decision. So
genuinely baffled. Like, is this some kind of like, are the games cursed? Like, are they like gremlins? Don't get them wet after midnight? Like, if anybody still buys the game on April Fool's Day, like, are the Nintendo Switches going to explode? I don't understand. Like, I read all the stuff, and I didn't watch the Direct. I read all the stuff afterwards because I was unfortunately not available during the Direct. So I read all the stuff afterwards, and I was like, oh, this is pretty cool. Like, all this games, and then I was like, and it's only available until March.
Yeah.
What? Why? I can't. I've been racking my brain trying to understand this. And I can't answer the question, and it's driving me crazy.
You'll find out, they'll reveal why soon enough. They'll have a reason. New console, Who knows? Which shouldn't really make it why they
but
would have it till
why?
March. Um,
Like,
yeah,
if
I
a new
know. I'm just
console
throwing
comes
out
out
like
on
a whole
March
thing.
31st, it's like but wouldn't? Why would you not just keep the? And then, but and then it's like if there's physical editions of this 3D World All Stars bollocks, whatever. Like, well, then people are just gonna buy it, keep it until March, and then it's gonna go on eBay for like hundreds of dollars because no one's gonna be able to buy it anymore. And it becomes that whole Nintendo thing where if like Nintendo's best customers sometimes are scalpers. Like I don't get Nintendo. And I feel like there's one thing that's gonna break me in the entire games industry over attrition of like trying to figure out the thought process behind the decisions. It's Nintendo. It's not Activision or EA or Microsoft or Sony. Like, it's easy to figure out all of their motivations. Money. I don't get... But Nintendo doesn't seem to operate like that. And I can't figure out for the life of me what they think. Why? Why? Anyway. Mario, if you like Mario, it's going to be a great 6 months. Yeah. 6 months. It's going to be a fantastic 6 months. And I kind of want that Mario Kart game. Like, I'm not gonna lie, that looks pretty cool. Should we move on?
Why not?
Because, funnily enough, I can understand the motivations behind this company doing something stupid. It's very simple.
What's EA?
Yeah, EA Sports UFC 4 gets in-game ads a few weeks after release. This is from Anna Bankhurst over at IGN, who writes, EA has put in-game ads in the EA Sports UFC 4 a few weeks after release, and its fans are not happy about it. Reddit user Edino shared a clip of the in-game ads, which do seem intrusive, and they note that it was added a month after its release, so it wasn't talked about in reviews. Additionally, Edino brings up that UFC 4 is a $60 game and not a free-to-play title that is using ads in lieu of charging the player an entry fee. This particular clip features marketing from Amazon's The Boys second season. There's a full-screen advertisement during replays, its logo appears on the octagon, and it also appears above the timer and on the bottom of the screen. Jesus Christ. At launch, UFC 4 did feature microtransactions in the form of an in-game currency called UFC points. These UFC points can be used to buy cosmetic items, but have no impact on the game. Additionally, there were brands featured on the Octagon, but the full screen ads recently were not seen. And then there's an update, which is a post on Reddit from a community, someone from the community team, EA, because they've taken them out basically, which reads, quote, I am part of the community team here at EA, and I wanted to post here and give you all an update on the situation. Earlier this week, the team turned on ad placements in EA Sports... Sorry, it's all capitalized. EA Sports UFC 4 that appeared during the replay moments in gameplay. This type of advertising inventory is not new to the UFC franchise, though we have typically reserved displaying ads to specific main menu titles or Octagon logo placement. It is abundantly clear from your feedback that integrating ads into the replay and overlay experience is not welcome. The advertisements have been disabled by the team, and we apologise for any disruption to gameplay that players may have experienced. We realise this should have been communicated with players ahead of time, and that's on us. We want to make sure our players have the best possible experience playing EA Sports UFC 4, so ad integration in the replay and overlay experience will not be reappearing in the future. Thank you for your continued feedback on EA Sports UFC 4. I don't know why they keep capitalizing it every time they write it. Moody, why? I mean, I actually know the answer to that question this time, but why? 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 Oops.
EA tried something.
They definitely
did. They might have
did.
been able to get away with it. They did not get away with it. And
they thought they could get away with it.
This is the thing about
They
it.
could not.
This is, for me, it's just a simple fix overall. They just be honest. Just come out and just say this game has ads. Companies have paid us to put their ads into our game. That's it. That's it. That done, dusted. People may be annoyed by it, but at the end of the day, as long as you as long as you're just upfront with us or upfront with your customer, you'll get away. You'll be fine for the most part. You'll have some people going me, and all like that, but at the end of the day, I'd rather you just be honest and just be. That's it. Just do that. It's simpler. It's easier. Yeah. They
I
want to make a
agree.
company they're a company who wants to make money. Fair play to them. All companies want to make money. I can't deny that. I can't say anything bad about that. It's just if as long as you're honest, you'll be fine. But if you come across and literally can see that you are being stingy or you tried to try and do something that you know might get backlash and you've been caught out by it, and now you've got egg on your face and you have to quote unquote take those things out of this game because you think, it's just like, just come out and say honest, company paid us, put ads in our games, done, dusted. That's it. You might be offended, you might not like this, but at the end of the day, we've been paid to put it in our game. We're going to
Right.
do this.
And it's not like
Be honest.
UFC 4 has any other avenues of money making. Like, I agree about the honesty thing. Like, if they'd just been honest, like, they would have still got a backlash, but it wouldn't have been, like, as ridiculous as this. But it's like, it's a $60 game. It has microtransactions. Jim Sterling says this and has been saying this for a while, and I think it's finally starting to catalyze in my brain because, it takes me a while to pick things up. Where it's just like, there are some companies that operate as if, like, they can't afford to make games, and that's all they exist to do. So, if you're gonna cry poverty, like, figure out a way to make games in a way which you can afford, because this is starting to get fucking ridiculous now. Like, it's already ridiculous. Like, it has been for years, but, like, you've got to pay the full price for the entry fee. There's probably some sort of fucking collector's edition where you get a fucking model Hulk Hogan or whoever the fuck's in UFC, I don't know. I have no idea. And, like, a little statue and a key ring and maybe some UFC bucks. And then, like, you buy a UFC bucks to unlock fucking belts or hats or whatever the fuck UFC fighters wear. I'm out of my element here, Moody. Like, I'm floundering. But
I think it's funny you picked a wrestler to
Like-
be a fake wrestler.
What's the other guy? The
Real
Undertaker.
sport.
He's in UFC, right?
No.
Okay, well, I'm just gonna plow on. Like, this game probably makes fuck tons of money, and then he just went, you know what? We're gonna make people sit through ads of the boys. If I subscribe to someone's channel on Twitch, the company which is owned by the people who make the boys, they don't make me sit through an advert for the boys. So you can fuck off if you think I'm gonna spend $60 or 40 quid or whatever the fuck on a game that, if I want to get the full best experience, I'm probably going to need to buy some microtransactions and then still have to sit through adverts of the fucking boys. I've seen that advert 500 times. I'm sick of it. Yes, I will get around to watching it. It's on my list. Stop shaming me. That's a different issue. And part of my frustration comes from the fact of being played like a fool. Like, there's a few publishers that have done this, where they wait a few weeks until the game's been out so that all of those reviews that are glowing and positive or whatever on the internet don't mention the ridiculously shitty monetization practices because they didn't exist at the time that they played it. Crash Team Racing did it, Call of Duty World War II did it, UFC 4's done it, and I don't like being played as a fool. Like, to say, like, oh, this is really good, it doesn't have these microtransactions, for a few weeks later for that to be a lie. And it's like, I'm not lying in my video, because at the time they didn't have those, but then they did. And I do not like that. But yeah, like, just fucking EA, man. Oh, we're gonna try and push it and see what we can get away with. UFC, FIFA, Battlefront 2, like, they have a history of doing this where it's just like, oh, well, we didn't get away with that. I guess we're only going to make $5 billion this year instead of $6.
That's the thing about it. That is, at the end of the day, is all about it.
I don't even buy food unless it's on special offer, and, like, because, money. And it's like, it's the difference between having billions of dollars and billions of dollars. It's like, if you can't make and sell a game for $60, and your sole purpose for existence as a company is to make video games, I mean, you're doing something wrong. Like, you are. Fucking Jesus. The Boys. I think the amount of times I've seen that trailer is what's making me not want to watch it. I feel like advertising reaches a certain level with me where it's like it goes over the peak, and then it's like it's working and it's getting me to watch the thing, but if you throw that shit in my face too much, I just go, well, now I'm not watching it. Fuck you. And the more you show me this trailer, the less I'm gonna fucking watch it.
Fair. That is fair. I won't lie.
Like, I want to watch Hannah, because I like the film. And they did a series on Amazon. Or the one with what's-her-face in? Homecoming.
Mm.
And then it was like, but then I saw the fucking trailer on Twitch 7 million times, and I was like, nah. Homecoming
watch Twitch.
Is a safe space. Like, I could do the trailer, Moody. God. But yeah, like, fuck off. Yeah. You bastard.
But the thing is, like I say, it's not a surprise. That's the thing. That it's like I'm sure people are like, why aren't you more angry? It's just like, EA. And you're not surprised, really? Because if anyone comes to me and says I was surprised they would do this, then I would have to question you.
I can't believe EA of all companies.
I would have to question you in so many ways. Like, how gullible are you and everything like that? But,
I can't believe EA would do this. I have many questions.
Yeah, I have many questions, and it's not for EA. They are for you.
I have many questions for EA. And, like, guess what? I'll ask them on this podcast. That's what this podcast is designed for. But yeah, it is also the case of I'm not surprised in the least that EA would try and pull some shit like this. And like, I don't buy their sports games. Like, I don't, even the ones I like. Like, I'm a big NHL fan. I want to talk about it in the post show a little bit. But I also don't buy the NHL games because they're exactly the same as all of their other sports games. Incremental updates on a yearly basis that aren't worth full price, in my mind. And, you know, it's only every few years that they're good. Or, like, a noticeable improvement, or add something, like, new, like, substantially new to the thing. So I just don't buy them.
That's the crazy thing. I'm gonna put IDs in their brains right now. But
probably.
That's one game I'm surprised they haven't turned into a live service game. Is FIFA? It'd be perfect for it.
Now they've got the perfect situation where they're getting people to spend $60 on it every single year, and until that wanes, you won't see a change in the way that they're, because that's the ideal situation. Like if Bungie. Because Activision don't know it anymore. If Bungie could get people to buy a new Destiny every year at full price, they would. Like, they would just pump Destinies out every year.
Well, I think they're keeping an eye on certain things, though. I'll be surprised. I bet they haven't. I bet they've had that conversation. Should we turn it into a thingy? But they obviously don't want to take the risk and everything.
I mean, oh god, yeah. Like every conversation you can imagine about what to do with the future of a big franchise like FIFA has been had at some level. Mm-hmm. Like,
they'd rather not take a hit now for long-term success.
What is it? We used to say
this is the thing.
I used to say this on the podcast a lot. Video game publishers will always fuck themselves in the long term to make obscene profits in the short term. That wasn't what I said, but it's an approximate of what I used to say.
Pretty much close. Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah. You should think long term.
They'll never miss an opportunity to fuck themselves over in the long term, because that's future EA's problem.
That's true. That's true.
It's like Call of Duty and all the stuff we were reading about how terrible the development was for this current Call of Duty, Black Ops Cold War. And it's just like, can this situation keep going? Tune in next year. We'll find out. I have a feeling there's a reason it wasn't revealed until very recently. And that's because I have a feeling the game development is metaphorically resembles a trash fire. And it's just a bunch of people trying to put the trash fire out with rags covered in alcohol.
Yeah.
And they're trying to beat it. Like, that's speculative.
That is gonna be the game. I'm very intrigued to see what happens with that. Just how broken is it?
Like, I wonder if it's just going to come out and it's going to be a mess. Like, and not the developers, for like the developer people's fault. It's just they've been given no time. It's been brought forward a year. It's a messy situation.
And throw on top of a crazy ass pandemic on top of that.
Yeah,
it
is just like, oh dear, like this game could be
for that developer, which sucks because at the end of the day they are good. So
yeah, all developers are good.
They're just trapped badly.
All developers are good. It's the companies that are bad. Like, whenever I'm raging against Ubisoft or EA or Activision Blizzard, I'm raging against the companies and, you know, sometimes the higher-ups, the CEOs, the Bobby Koticks, the Yves Gilmours. Like, never at the people who are just work there. Like...
Yeah.
Like, I'll rage against EA all day, every day for stupid shit like this, but there's tons of cool people that work there. Like, it's not their fault. Like the Ubisoft story we talked about last week, where it was like there were probably dozens of people who were just like, this is a bad idea. We can't do this. And then the Ubisoft executives were just like, haha, lol, haha, release button, ding, ding, ding. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, there's sadly. Yeah, we'll see.
Capitalism. Yay. Let's move on. Spiritfarer developer apologises for ableist storyline and pledges to fix it. This is from Sharif Saeed over at VG247, who writes, one particular story in Spiritfarer missed the mark, and the game's developer has vowed to correct it. Spiritfarer developer Thunder Lotus has issued a statement apologising for how one story in the game represented a disabled character. Gustav, a once wheelchair-bound bird, mentions in one conversation how death freed them from their wheelchair. Kayla Whaley argued how this perpetuates a view that death can be better than living with a disability, something that is insensitive to disabled people who excel in spite of their disabilities. Thunder Lotus conceded that some of the writing is ableist and promised to change it and re-examine the game for any other material that may have similar ableist undertones. Quote, it has been brought to our attention that some of the writing in Spiritfarer is ableist, especially in the case of one character's description of their own wheelchair. We, the developers of Spiritfarer, would like to offer our sincere and heartfelt apology and pledge to correct the lack of sensitivity and good judgment we demonstrated. We understand that we unwittingly perpetuated ideas and language that have traditionally been used to exclude and discriminate against people with disabilities while reinforcing ableist views of what they should find empowering. This directly undermines the empathetic spirit that we wish to infuse into every aspect of the game, and we regret this failure. End quote. Moody, this is here for one reason. And one reason only. And it's not to be like, oh, Spiritfarer devs, you suck, you don't, you're awesome. Keep doing what you're doing. Hey, Ubisoft! This is what an apology looks like. This is what an apology... They mentioned the thing and apologized for it. And I feel a bit bad using like one indie dev as a stick to beat Ubisoft. Oh shit, there goes my name. To beat Ubisoft over the head with, but at the same time, like, I have all the respect in the world for a developer who puts out a statement like this after being called out on something like this. And I don't know, it really stood out at me, especially after last week.
Yeah, I understand. I understand where you're coming from with that. There's no doubt about that. I'll argue one part on the guy of that. Did you not research this enough to see, like, did you not speak to people who are disabled to see what could this be transpired as offensive or somewhere and like that? For me, I would argue that to him. But at the end of the day, they're doing the right thing. They've listened, they've learned, which that's what all we want to hear. Basically, we want to know that you are learning, you are listening to these, you are learning and listening to us. or people of the who are disabled or any other minority out there. And yeah, they've done a good job here. And I like the response. I think the apology is spot on. He owns up. They own up to it, and they intend to only make sure they fix this. But on top of that, they make sure to go into it for future games in the further down the line. That's great. That's what we want to hear and everything. But I'll still say you should have already researched this. But that's
And this game, I like the fact that they're not just going to fix this one thing that's been pointed out. Like, they're going to go through the whole game and make sure there's nothing else in it. Like, yeah, it's shitty that it happened. It sure is. It's a forest for the tree. Not being able to see the forest for the trees situation, where I think a writer or several writers, I don't know how this particular storyline or the game itself was written, like, had an idea for the story and wrote the wheelchair bound characters dialogue and storyline in a specific way, and it's education. We've all been there. We've all said and done things. It's just we don't write popular video games, and most people don't notice the shitty things we've said in the past. And yeah, it sucks, but like, I don't want to not belittle. I don't want to. There's a word, and I can't think of what it is. Minimize. I don't want to minimize like the impact of what was in the game. But at the same time, like, I like the response. The response is the best possible response. But yes,
I agree with what you're saying.
But yes, do better, and it sounds like they will do better in the future.
Yeah, like I said, where you I'll say all the time, everybody on this planet, you're going to be learning every day. You're going to be listening, you're going to be learning and learning something new every day. And you're never not going to be trying to learn something, especially in your field of choice of what you want to do as your job and everything. So yeah, they've took it on the chin. They've done the right thing. Respect them for that. I can't deny that. So well done.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's move on to the next story. And I'm just double checking to make sure everything works properly after I punched a can like so hard my monitor moved, which I just noticed. Damn you, Ubisoft. Nuclear Throne developer Vlambeer is shutting down after a decade of games. This is from Megan Farakmanesh over at The Verge, who writes, Vlambeer, the indie studio behind beloved games such as Super Crate Box, Nuclear Throne, and Ridiculous Fishing, is shutting down. The developer, which celebrates its 10th anniversary, announced the news on Twitter. Quote, we had a beautiful run, made incredible games, and worked with amazing people, but it's time for new things. So, we're announcing the end of Vlambeer. The Dutch studio was founded in 2010 by Jan Willem Nijman and Rami Ismail, and has been a stalwart of the indie community. Vlambeer has been especially vocal on issues of game clones. Ismail is a well-known advocate within the community for topics like diversity and independent development. Quote, it's not a sad day for us, but the happy conclusion to a whirlwind decade filled with a screen shake. It feels like we've achieved what we set out to do, as a studio, as a voice, and as individuals, and we are extremely grateful for these past years. The developer still intends to release its upcoming arcade game Ultrabugs and is currently holding a Steam sale in celebration of its decade of development. In an interview with The Verge's sister site Polygon, Ishmael said the pair's intent was to run the studio for as long as they needed to have a chance in the games industry to do our thing. Ultimately, he told the publication ending after 10 years was right for the studio. Quote, it's a little overdramatic, Ishmael said. Nobody does it. End quote. I just wanted to shout out Vlambeer. Like, I saw this coming on Twitter. Coming up on Twitter. I follow Rami. I've had them for years. And I've played some of Vlambeer's games and I've enjoyed them. I wouldn't say they're my favourite games, but I also... I'm conscious of the effect Vlambeer had on indie game development. Like, you won't find many indie developers who have existed for 10 years.
That's true.
because indie games were just starting out around about then, in the form that we know them today.
Yeah. It's a shame. It's disappointing. How they feel like they're fine with it. It just seems weird when you hear that.
I know, right?
Shutting down, and you're just like, that's what makes this conversation a little bit more weird. It's like,
It's like weird.
we've shut down, but we've had a good time. There's nothing been bad. It's just a nice little handshake, yada yada yada, on our ways. And I'm just like, just shut your company down. What the hell? It's weird, but no. If it's all gone to how they wanted it to go, and they do feel like they are there, they've hit what they wanted to do. Congratulations to them. Well done. You've gone out on a high to yourselves and everything like that. And if that's how you wanted to go, that's how I think everyone really wants to go out in their jobs, really, isn't it?
It's like a TV show ending. They went out on their own terms. They went out before everything went south and before the show jumped the shark. It's like it is weird, and like Rami says in the interview on Polygon, which is quoted here, nobody does it. It's like, yeah, nobody does it. Like, nobody closes a company down in this way, so it is a bit weird. Like, but hey, I don't understand. Like, but I'll support you in whatever you do because you're cool people and you made some cool games and that a lot of people love.
Yeah. Well done to them.
Cool. Yeah. Just please don't let there be a Jason Schreier article in a few weeks from now where it's like the behind the scenes of Vlambeer. Just please, God, let us have this one thing. 2020, just one. It's gotta have one nice thing this year.
One nice thing.
One nice thing. Actually, we do have one nice thing. It's 2 stories down. But first, we're gonna get through this. Xbox seemingly now openly admitting Xbox Series X. Sorry, let me try that again. Xbox seemingly now openly admitting Xbox Series S exists before it's announced. This is from Joe Scrabbles over at IGN. He writes, Xbox Series S is seemingly now mentioned on publicly available Xbox products despite not having been officially announced yet. The long-rumored console, which will apparently take the form of a lower-priced, lower-performance variant of Xbox Series X, has never been officially announced or named by Microsoft, but multiple mentions of the console and its internal codename Lockhart have been found. Now, those buying Microsoft products have found mention of Xbox Series S in their goods, as shown by an Xbox controller which arrived with a Game Pass voucher that specifically mentions Xbox Series X/S, the same console name formatting found on alleged Xbox Series S controller packaging last month. Moody, I'm just going to put it out. It's fucking September, right? We're 2 months away from the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox Series X and potentially the Xbox Series S launching. And there was a thing earlier in the week where Ubisoft leaked the thing on a store page where it was like the PS5 is not going to be compatible with PS1, PS2, PS3, and then they quickly recanted that. This is starting to get embarrassing now. Like, it went from excitement to annoyance to acceptance that this was going to take a while to now it's nearly mid-September and we don't know basic facts about these things and stuff like this is happening, and I'm starting to feel embarrassed for them. Like, how do we not know things like the existence of an entire console 2 months before it's due to be released?
I have no idea. This is unprecedented times, obviously, with what's going on in the world and everything. And I think I'm going to have to side on you under the part of that. Yo, Sony, Microsoft, maybe take 2020 off for releasing the new console and maybe go into 2021.
Hey, guys, this isn't going to plan, is it?
Yeah. And
maybe change the plan.
Yeah. It's a really, really weird thing right now when it comes to this. Like, Microsoft aren't even talking about it. And like Microsoft have been very, very, very quiet of late. More quiet than they normally are. Like, And that's the thing about it. They know they don't have anything. And that's the scary thing about it. They know they have nothing. They have a console that's probably going to be $599. It's going to be about 600 quid with no really big IP first party games, apart from third party games, to launch with this. And Game Pass, yes, it has 10 million users, which is fantastic. And it's still the best thing in video games out there. The bargains for it are incredible. But it's not the seller, I don't think. It's not selling people to why they want to buy the Xbox Series X or why they would want to buy the Xbox Series S.
That might be the first time ever where I put up the technical difficulties screen to like hide a cut in the podcast, and it's actually true. There were actually technical difficulties. My computer went mental. Like
the computer freaked out.
Just all sorts of shit just started opening on the desktop and all sorts. Anyway, we were talking about Series X. I said it was embarrassing in a general sense. And then you were talking.
Yeah.
And about halfway through, you'll probably see me just suddenly like...
Yeah, I basically ended on saying that both Microsoft and Sony probably should push to 2021.
Yes, I remember that part. It's like, yeah, at a certain point, yeah, probably. Again, it's 2 months away. Like, you are not prepared for this, and it's very painfully obvious at this point. And hey, you know what, guys? It's not your fault. COVID happened. It took a sledgehammer to the manufacturing industry and just smashed its head in. Nobody blames you, but where you take ownership of it is when you decide to plow forward anyway, and say, "Well, we're still going to do this even despite everything that's happening." It's like, that's cool, but also it's September, and like, you're planning to release an entirely separate console that you haven't announced when we don't know how much these consoles are going to cost. And we're at the point now where like, when we're speculating on the prices based on Pringles tubs, like, and was there an energy drink promotion that was also a thing. I've stopped paying attention to the whole, well, maybe we know how much the console costs now things, because it's just like, I'm done with this.
Yeah. But if we don't know anything by the end of September, then I'll just call it right now to say, you need to push. You've got to be pushing. You can't be keeping your date in November if you haven't told us the price or the release date yet, because come on, man. I know Nintendo did it, but they didn't have a pandemic that they were fighting with. They knew they could drop this out and they'd be perfectly fine. And they dropped it in a time when Christmas was over, all done and dusted. People now started to save up a little bit more money again back in through January and February. So they're ready to have that little bit of disposable income if they wanted to have that type of thing. So like for us right now, we don't really have the disposable income. It's freaky.
I've saved a bit for a PS5, but unless the price is drastically low, I don't know how I'm going to make up the difference. The thing about Nintendo's timeline is they mentioned the NX very early on. I remember. And then I think it was like a year, 2 years, where it was just like, yeah, there were leaks, there were patents and things. We were in that speculation phase for a long time. And then they made a trailer which they launched in October, I think, of 2016. It was October 2016 where they were like, "This is the console." Like, it was like a 3.5 minute trailer. I remember we made a lot of fun of it, where it was like, "I can't wait to take my Nintendo console to fancy rooftop parties that I'm invited to." Like, it was a dumb trailer, but it worked. And then they did the reveal event in January and launched it in March, which is a shortened timeline. But 2 months between the full reveal, where we learned everything about the console, to the launch of it. At the moment, we're still more or less in that speculation phase.
Yeah.
With 2 months to go. Where it's like, we don't know how much it costs. There's another console that they have to announce. We don't know how much that's going to cost or how much less powerful it is than the main Series X. We don't know how much the PS5 is going to cost or how much the old digital versions are going to cost. Like, we don't know basic things, like backwards compatibility apparently might not work the way we thought it was going to work, which again was based on speculation. And it's just like, guys, either get a hold of this or not. Shit or get off the pot, basically, to put it very crude, in a very crude British metaphor. Shit or get off the pot, because you need to do one or the other. It's September. Like, you're saying that by the end of September, just push it. I'd say by the end of fucking August, like, this should have been, this should have happened.
They should have, there's no doubt about it. I agree with you there, but I'm just like, the more they don't talk, the more we're just going to be like, you got to be crazy to think drop a console now. And it really is starting to hit that level of where you just like, you got to stop. Now, the only, like, I don't know if it was, can't remember what podcast it was on. I think it was a kind of funny one, but don't quote me on this. That someone said that, asked, should they push them? Something like that. And I think one person said, the only way that's going to happen is if both of them push it. And the only way that's going to happen is if they're talking to each other and talking, when do we push these? Can we push this? Yada, yada, yada type of thing and everything like that. Because and all that. So, and I'm just like, well, if they are talking and if they are trying to maybe talk about pushing, I'm telling you right now, the people who have all the leverage, that's Sony. Sony have all the leverage because not only because they have the market share, but on top of that, they have a console that has a huge IP to sell with it. Microsoft have nothing really to sell with it, so that's why Microsoft are in a bad hand here. To if they are quote unquote talking to maybe decide to push, but it's at the same time it's just like the thing is if they are talking and one blinks to say we're going to push it, I bet you I'll be not surprised if the other one blinks to say, you know what, we're going to push as well. They get it out. They'll give us time, but until that happens,
just push it. 2021 is a great year to launch consoles.
Yeah. Oh, well, we were saying that for 2020.
Yeah, no, we were. We've been saying this all along. I was saying this in 2019. 2021's a great year to console.
You jinxed it at the beginning.
I did. Right. No, what happened was Microsoft heard me and decided to send malfunctions to my computer and be like, you need to stop talking about this shit. Stop calling us an embarrassment. And I'm like, did you fit? Wear it. Anyway. I don't know how long this podcast is now going to be. So I'll try and keep us on time, but...
Well, we're still, what, an hour? What,
I think we still got an hour. I think we still got an hour. So... give or take.
Yeah.
Anyway. Last news story, and then we'll move on to the other stuff. Fall Guys raises $1 million for special effect charity. This is from Christopher Livingston over at PC Gamer, who writes, 2 weeks ago, Fall Guys tapped into the brand madness on Twitter, challenging the various corporations that were tirelessly pitching Fall Guys costume concepts to donate to charity. The deal was the top bidder after 2 weeks would get a Fall Guys skin added to the Battle Royale, with the money going to Special Effect, a charity dedicated to improving the lives of gamers with disabilities. Things kicked off quickly with a series of ever-increasing pledges flying in from server hosting businesses to indie game companies to individual streamers. Even a bidet company wanted in. Before long, bids had climbed from a few thousand to tens of thousands of dollars, and they kept climbing. Cut to Friday morning, and gaming channel FGT was locked in with a pledge for a whopping $510,000. As the final seconds of Battle of the Brands ticked away, however, a new bid arrived and nearly doubled it. Streamers, Ninja and MrBeast, along with G2 Esports and AimLab, joined forces to combine their bids to equal a cool $1 million. Contest over. According to Mediatonic, 4 costumes will be added to Fall Guys to celebrate the winning bidders' collaboration. Yay. This is nice.
Yeah, we can't say anything bad about this.
No,
We can't.
God,
It's
no,
like
no.
this is going to an
And
amazing charity that we've just been, but that we're doing for as well. Yes, a lot more money than we're going to bring it for. But either way, it's every little helps. I love how they did this. It's well done to them. Fantastic. Congratulations. Well done, Fall Guys. Well done to all the people who threw money in and everything. Well done to them. I love the banter between like Ninja and Mr. Beast and everything like that. Like they were one upping each other or something, if
yeah,
I remember rightly, that we talked
they
about. And
were.
I just
Yeah,
love that part. It was a little bit of fun, and it just
it
did it in a
was.
really good way.
Like, I'm a bit
I can't say
disappointed the
more.
bidet company didn't win, just because I would have loved a Fall Guys skin that said "Ask me about my butthole," but I'll take it. Like, it's cool. Like, it's a cool way to raise money for charity. Like it's nice to see Fall Guys, which has obviously been such a massive like success in terms of just everything. Like, this is like the fifth week straight we've talked about Fall Guys on this podcast as a news story. And it's nice to see them like channel that into something positive, where it's like brands were thirsty, like for Fall to get their skins in Fall Guys. Like, you could see it for weeks, and for them to just turn around and go, yeah, okay, cool, we'll put some of your fucking skins in our game if you donate to charity. Like, that's just genius.
Yeah, the genius. Well done to them. Congratulations. Can't say anything bad about it.
Yeah. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. That's it for the news. We're officially in the second part of the podcast. I used to call it the second half, but it regularly isn't as long as the first part. So,
True.
like, which is fine. The last time it was, I think we were talking about Suicide Squad and Gotham Knights. Anyway, we got some announcements. Some reveals, some release dates, some free shit, some other stuff. As always, if I've missed stuff, tough. There, as far as the reveals go, we're getting a Witcher 3 next-gen upgrade on PC, PS5, and Xbox Series X, which will be free to all current owners of the game. There's also going to be a Dead by Daylight free next-generation upgrade for current players. And Graven is coming to PC, current and next-gen consoles. It's a spiritual successor to Hexen 2. This is how you do next-gen upgrades. Hey.
They're basically showing them how to do it, that's for sure. I'll give them that.
Like both Dead by Daylight and The Witcher 3. It's like, hey, we're updating this game and re-releasing it on the next generation consoles. And also, if you already own it there, cool, you get the upgrade for free.
Yeah. And yeah.
Control. Which I have again, because I want to play the Alan Wake DLC. But, yeah. Like, I don't, like, I'm just having flashbacks to the news story where it's like, we tried to explore several avenues, but someone was always going to get left out. And then here comes CD Projekt Red just like, well, we've explored one avenue and everybody's getting it for free, so.
Yeah, that is true, yeah. It sucks.
We got some release date announcements. Spelunky 2's PS4 version launches on September 29th, which is about 2 weeks after the PC version. Pendragon, which is a strategy RPG about King Arthur, is coming to PC on September 22nd. Fuser.
Is it the Ubisoft game? Did they sell it?
No. We'll talk about that next week. Sorry, I thought you were talking about Gods and Monsters. No, God, shit. I forgot about that. I forgot about the King Arthur Ubisoft game for one shining moment. I forgot about one of the terrible things Ubisoft did.
I'm so sorry.
That's okay. It's okay. They've done so much, it's hard to keep track. Because they're a terrible, terrible company. Fuser.
About them next week, so.
Yeah, maybe. Fuser, which is Harmonix's music mixing game, is coming to PC and current gen consoles on November 10th. And Welcome to Elk is coming to PC and Xbox One on September 17th. It might be coming to Game Pass, I'm not sure. Usually games that come out on PC and Xbox only are generally Game Pass games, but
Yeah. Maybe it's something a deal that they haven't fully
Maybe.
signed yet, but they
What is
intend
Welcome
to.
to Elk?
Maybe.
I've heard the name before. What is it? Welcome to Elk. Biographical adventure set on. Oh, that looks so cute. The art style looks really cute. Magical adventure set on an island where every character you encounter has a story to tell. Cool. I might check that out. There were no delays this week. There's a little shocked face. In our document, there's a little shocked emote.
Nice.
So it's like, there's nothing got delayed. Games that are free. There's not many. The Division is free on PC. These are actually all free games. The Division is free on PC until September 8th, which is Tuesday tomorrow. When this podcast comes out. And next week's free games on the Epic Games Store are Where the Water Tastes Like Wine and Railway Empire. Those will be available for free from September 10th. They're really pushing the Division because this was Games with Gold game this month as well. I don't understand it. They know they released a sequel, right?
You would bloody hope so.
Why? A sequel, which ironically I did get for free with my processor because I upgraded my processor and they gave me the Division 2. That's why we couldn't play together because I was on PC. I don't get it. Why are they pushing so hard on the first game and not the second game? The second game I would have assumed is the one they want to get in as many people's hands as possible at this point, so they can sell DLC. Ain't nobody making DLC for the Division. Curious.
Maybe they're combining them both eventually.
Maybe.
There is an Ubisoft Forward next week. Maybe.
I don't know how much I'm going to have to say about next week's Ubisoft Forward other than Ubisoft is still terrible. Like, I was reading about Immortals, like Gods and Monsters, like changing its name and potentially coming out in December. And I was just like struggling to care. Like, it was really weird. Like, and it's the one Ubisoft game I was probably looking forward to as well.
Nah, it never spoke to me just because like they showed nothing. They showed a little trailer that didn't really tell me anything apart from it's in the Greeking times.
I like the mythology. I like when they take the ancient Greek mythology and use it as fantasy. With like the gods and monsters.
Yeah.
I like the art style. I liked what I heard from the guy I saw talking about it on Twitch afterwards. They did an interview on one of the E3 shows that happened after E3.
Yeah.
And it was just it just different, Moody. It sounded like it was just going to be different from Far Cry, Assassin's Creed, Watch Dogs, Division.
And we all like a bit of different.
Yeah, I do. I like games that are different. If you want sources for that, just have a look through all the games I've reviewed on YouTube. You'll go, oh, not heard of that one. I guarantee it.
Oh, definitely, yeah, definitely. I agree with
that. I find quirky games to play.
Hopefully my new PC, hopefully soon, cross fingers.
If you get your new PC, I've got lists. Don't worry.
You've got lists.
To be fair, these are games you can probably get on consoles most of the time, but they generally come out on PC first. In the other category, a Shenmue anime is coming to Crunchyroll. Minecraft Live digital event is happening on October 3rd, and NVIDIA revealed the RTX 3090, 3080, and 3070 graphics cards, and from what I read about them, they are much cheaper than people were expecting.
Yeah, for what I can tell, yeah. One of them's basically the price of what we're thinking the consoles are going to be.
Oh, cool. So I can't afford that either. Fantastic.
Well, the most expensive one is 1,500.
Yeah.
And then the middle one I think is what, $799 or $699, which I actually
$699. I think I saw it, and I think the other one's $499.
Yeah, the weakest one, quote unquote.
Well,
is
weakest one, quote. Yeah, I have the 970, which is like the equivalent 3070, which is the weakest one. Like, the thing about graphics cards is the 3070 will run anything for years. Like my
Yeah.
970 still runs shit like pretty well. Like like I said, I got the Division 2 last year, no problems. Like running that game on my PC. I think that was the last AAA game I played on PC. Though I generally avoid AAA games on PC. I had bad experiences.
Yeah, that's why. Like, I'm getting one. My aim is to hopefully get a good PC, far one better than the one I've got here. That'll mainly the games I'll basically play are basically going to be indie games. So.
Yeah, it's cool. Indie games are fun. They're my
What we
favorite. I've
hope
got a
is.
T-shirt that says indie games on it. I'm wearing a T-shirt for an indie game. I just looked at
Yeah.
my camera box and I was like, I'm wearing a Disco Elysium T-shirt.
You are. I'll be able to play it.
You will. It's amazing. Like Jesus, that game was so amazing.
Like I've just bought the remastered collection for Command and Conqueror, and I'm just like, yeah, that'll be for the new PC.
The
It was a
itch.io
fiver.
bundle
I was
of like
it's a
thousands
fiver.
of games.
Yeah.
Oh, I'll keep you right with PC gaming. Don't worry.
Don't worry, we'll talk. We'll talk.
We'll talk. I don't go in for these Valorants or these CS:GOs, League of Legends. It's not me. So I'll keep you right. Don't worry.
Right.
Yeah. We've got a content drop, Moody. The content drop this week is my 5 favorites SGDQ 2020 speedrun so far, because really nothing happened that like stood out to me as like content drop material, but I've been watching speedruns like from SGDQ 2020. And I thought I'd link my top 5, which is Half-Life Alyx, a speedrun of a VR game. It's kind of mind-bending. It's awesome. Like the tricks that, because the tricks that they use in speedrunning, it's kind of the same stuff, but the person is the controller and the character in the world, instead of being like, like when you clip out of bounds in a game, but when you clip out of bounds but you're also in VR, it's like, okay. How do you do like lying down on the floor? It's really cool. Like it's a really cool speedrun. Superliminal, which is another really fun speedrun. It's only about 20 minutes, I think, the whole video. I think the speedrun lasts 13. Like, and it's a trippy as fuck game. The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt speedrun, which is really fun. Because there's a speed glitch. So basically, after the first 10 or 15 minutes, like, Geralt's just, like, blasting around the entire time, like, like, and that's the speedrun. It's about 2 hours. And it never gets old. There was a Night Trap speedrun where the person not only speedran the game but did it blindfolded. And the last one is Trackmania Nations Forever, which was just a really like not my kind of thing at all, but a really cool speedrun. Like just watching this person like doing the stuff and explaining everything they're doing really well. I love a good speedrun. Like, regardless of game genre. Or, like, if I even like the game or not. Like, a good speedrun is still impressive.
True, yeah. Like, when you see them... If I like speedrunners who don't use glitches, really. For me, personally.
Yeah. Yes. Like, the Half-Life one's the notable exception because the glitches in that game are amazing because it's in VR, but... Yeah, for the most part, like there was a Control speedrun I watched from January's GDQ.
Yeah.
Where it was like they launched themselves out of the map and it's black screens and boxes and landing in the right place and stuff. And while like this is still technically impressive, like that they're able to do this and do it consistently, it is like I prefer to watch someone just play the game really, really fast. Like there was a one from January which was like 3 hours, but it's like the greatest speedrun I've ever seen in my entire life. Which was Doom 2016.
Yeah,
it was like 100% nightmare run, so they had to do literally everything in the game, like all the levels, get all the things like the combat ratings, collect all the collectibles. It's like. The commentary was amazing. The gameplay was amazing. Like, it's one of the greatest speedruns I've ever seen in my entire life. And I am actually going to add that to the content drop so everybody can watch it because it's fucking outstanding. I'm making a note of it right now. You should watch it as well. Like, it gets to a point where it's just like, it's the funniest thing ever.
Yeah.
Like the even the donations that come in, like at a certain point, just start like being hilarious. Anyway, we also have last week on Words About Games. Apart from this podcast, I did an Ari and the Secret of Seasons review impressions, and I finally released my Resident Evil 3 Nemesis 20 years later video. It finally happened.
Really liked it. It was a lot of fun. I love the parts where you're about to flip out. What? Anyway, this is the. That was really good. I like that.
The Time magazine article.
Yeah.
With Umbrella really core footage. Yeah. No, it was fun. It was fun video to make. It was a fun video to record. Like, it was fun finding that point in every. Because I think I did it like 3 or 4 times where it's like I cut myself off. Because I had a rule where it's like if I started talking too much about something that wasn't specifically Resident Evil 3 Nemesis, whether it was Remake 3 or like another game, like I would have to stop myself. And it was fun, like, finding the parts in the sentences where it was like, okay, where's the funniest place I can cut myself off here? And inevitably, it was always when I started swearing. or the 90-second tangent I went on about how Majora's Mask is better than Ocarina of Time. Cut that off almost immediately. I was like, no, I can't put this in the video about Resident Evil 3.
It was very good.
Thank you. It took a lot of work, mostly because I'm lazy. There's some games coming out this week.
On top of yourself.
That's true.
Work on yourself.
That is true. Yeah, I've got 2 video reviews I need to do for Monday, Tuesday. So yeah, you're probably right. Like the Ari and the Secret of the Seasons video was late because I was just like, there's no way I'm hitting this embargo without doing something really stupid. And I just let it slide for a day. And I was like, I have to. It's fine. I didn't really like the game very much anyway, so it's fine. And neither did anybody else looking at OpenCritic. I feel kind of bad now. There are some games out this week, Moody.
Yes.
On September 8th, Kingdoms of Amalur Re-Reckoning comes to PC, PS4, and Xbox One. The hit RPG returns, remastered with stunning visuals and refined gameplay. Re-Reckoning delivers intense, customizable RPG combat inside a sprawling game world. And Moody's just read the note I added to the end of this. You know how I read that ridiculous thing for Ubisoft when Hyperscape came out? I thought, like, people keep asking me,
I
right?
haven't read that part. I'm literally just raising my eyebrow to the part of it says, the hit RPG.
The hit RPG.
It was like,
what's it called? A sleeper
that
hit.
Didn't sell well.
It didn't, no. Famously.
The company
actually,
went out of date.
Incredibly famously didn't sell well.
Yeah.
It's a sleeper hit.
It got love from a lot of the big critics out there, but it just didn't sell well. Everyone was telling everyone was saying, this game, who's played it, this game's combat is awesome, excellent, go and give it some love, give it a try.
Yeah.
And it just never sold well, and the company went under because of it.
At a time, the company went under for a lot of reasons, that was one of them. But it was only one of them. At the time, the RPGs didn't have good combat. Like nowadays, RPGs do have good combat as standard, but before, like, we were living off of like Fable with its one-button combat, and Skyrim, which did not have good first-person combat. I don't care who you are, what you say. That first-person combat was fucking terrible in Skyrim. I added a note because people keep asking me if I'm getting it, and I keep having to say no, and then explaining why, and it bums everyone out. But I gotta be the buzzkill sometimes and remind people that this is being published by THQ Nordic, who last year ran an AMA on 8chan, a message board known for child pornography, mass shooter manifestos, QAnon conspiracy theories, organizing, swatting, and more. Wikipedia has so much more, and I just did not want to add it all on here. But if you Google search 8chan, it's like the first thing that comes up. You can't miss it. So no, I will not be buying and playing this game. Thank you. And good night. Because everyone's like, but you really liked it when it first came out. And I'm like, I can't. I can't. Child porn message board. Anyway, Necromunda Underhive Wars is also coming out on PC, PS4, and Xbox. Yeah, Xbox One. Deep below the hive cities of Necromunda, lead, customize, and grow your gang in the twisted tunnels of the dystopian Underhive. Face rival gangs in tactical gunfights for power, wealth, survival, and honor. Also on September 8th, we have Okinoka Madness coming to PC, PS4, Xbox One, and Nintendo Switch. Test your reflexes and coordination with more than 100 levels to complete and 3 speedrun mods. Do you have what it takes? Lastly, on September 8th, we also have... Probably not, no. We also have Star Renegades on PC, which I was playing just before we started this podcast. Star Renegades is a dimension-spanning roguelite strategy RPG. Outsmart uniquely generated adversaries, forge bonds between heroes, and end the cycle. On September 10th, we have Bounty Battle coming to PC, PS4, Xbox One, and Nintendo Switch. Bounty Battle is the ultimate indie fighting game, a new multiplayer 2D fighter where you compete your favourite indie heroes against one another. Indie heroes from games like Guacamelee and Darkest Dungeon to Dead Cells, Owlboy, and more battle it out in this fighter frenzy. Lastly, on September 11th, Inertial Drift comes to PC, PS4, Xbox One, and Nintendo Switch. Forget everything you know about drifting. Done.
Okay.
Inertial Drift tears up the racing rulebook with innovative twin-stick controls, completely reimagined driving mechanics, and a roster of fiercely individual cars. Fiercely, Moody. They're fiercely individual. Star Renegades is good. Go buy it. It's really good. I'm really enjoying it. I played like 6 hours of it yesterday night. Like, I've had the game for days, but I only booted it up for the first time yesterday. And I was like, oh, I don't know if I'm going to play enough of this game to do a video for the embargo. Because it's fine. The embargo is before this podcast comes out, so we're fine. And there will be a video because I did play it for 6 hours. It's really good.
Nice.
Let's play OpenCritic head-to-head. This is the game myself and Moody, every single week, we will guess... Moody's going to log on to OpenCritic. Every single week, we try to guess the OpenCritic average of one upcoming game. Whoever guesses closest gets 1 point. If you manage to guess the score correctly, you get 2 points. Now, last week, we guessed the OpenCritic average of Marvel's Avengers. The week before, we guessed the OpenCritic average of Surgeon Simulator 2. Now, last week, Surgeon Simulator 2 didn't have a score yet, but this week it does. So we're doing both at once, because we decided to hold Surgeon Simulator until it had a score. If it ever got a score. And then it got a score, like, the day we put the podcast out, I guess.
No, it didn't. It didn't come up until...
Did it not?
Because I looked on Thursday. It had reviews, but didn't have a score.
Cool.
So I don't think this came up until Friday or yesterday.
Fair enough. I just remember looking and it definitely had one. Yeah. No one had it in their fantasy critic, so it was like, I can't keep an eye on that. I have to keep manually searching the game, and OpenCritic search engine functionality is poor. So 2 weeks ago, we tried to guess Surgeon Simulator 2. I guessed that it would get a 69 because I'm super mature, and Moody guessed it would get a 49. And at the time of recording, it has an OpenCritic average of 71, which means I get a point. Last week, we guessed the OpenCritic average of Marvel's Avengers. I rolled 2 dice to simulate a D100 roll and ended with 97, and Moody guessed a much more realistic 70. Marvel's Avengers currently, at the time of recording, has an OpenCritic average of 72, which means that Moody gets the point. So, not very much has changed. The scores currently are Amy 16, Moody 14 with 2 draws. Moody's uncomfortably close to me. Considering at one point, I was like 5 or 6 points ahead. Like, I'm not liking this.
Comfortably close if Sim Thingy didn't have a score, and I would have been 1 point behind you overall.
I mean, or if we hadn't had 2 draws, which both after we assigned the points and after the podcast came out, both of those games then tipped to your favour. So if we did this podcast like a day later than we do, like it'd be a draw right now.
2 points for The Last of Us.
Yeah, you would have actually.
I would have been leading for both. I would have been leading.
You would have been in the lead, but hey ho,
yeah.
Them's the rules. I don't. If I have to keep track of moving OpenCritic averages, my head will explode. The current scores, like I said, Amy 16, Rudy 14, with 2 draws. I guess closest on Dreams, Warcraft 3, One Punch Man, Half-Life Alyx, Resident Evil 3, Gears Tactics, Legends of Runeterra, Deep Rock Galactic, Maneater, Xenoblade Chronicles, West of Dead, Ghost of Tsushima, Carrion Other Side, and Surgeon Simulator 2. Nope. I actually guessed completely correctly on Carrion. Shouldn't have read that part out, but whatever. Moody gets closest on Zombie Army 4, Ori and the Will of the Wisps, Doom Eternal, Final Fantasy VII Remake, XCOM Chimera Squad, Command & Conquer Remastered, Iron Man VR, Deadly Premonition 2, Fall Guys, Total War Troy, Flight Simulator, and Avengers, and also guessed Pokemon Mystery Dungeon completely correctly. The 2 draws were The Last of Us Part 2 and SpongeBob SquarePants. This week, we are guessing. We can't do star rating games because, like I just said, I've put a bunch of hours in that game already. So we're doing Necromunda Underhive was a Games Workshop tabletop game that I used to love playing with my friend when we were in college because it wasn't as confusing as the main game. You only had like 4 characters. It was like an RPG. You had like very small number of characters, and you equip them with stuff instead of like having massive armies and having to get little fucking ruler things out. And it was fun. I enjoyed it a lot. And the video game version is coming out. I thought that said 165 for a second, and I was like, you sure? Moody is guessing 65. What was the other one? There was one that came out a couple of years ago that I'm sure was made by the same people. We got time. I'm gonna look it up because it was another Games Workshop property. I remember it.
Research while we're doing the prediction.
I can do whatever I fucking want. It's my podcast.
You're cheating now. Do it before, not when we're at the part when we're meant to give our scores out.
I haven't thought of my score yet, and
That's not my fault.
Look, right.
Look, right. Just because, cheating. You're already ahead.
Just because you've clearly done no research, because at the start of this podcast you went, "The fuck is this game?" I have not heard of this game, so you know.
Of that game, I researched it.
Just because you came in with the same level of preparation
your yabby on at the beginning.
for me. Anyway, the game I'm trying to think of was Mordheim, City of the Damned. That's all I wanted to know. It would have you know what? It would have annoyed the piss out of me for the rest of the podcast. I would have been like, what was that game again? And then everybody would be like, Space Hulk, and I'd be like, no, obviously I know what Space Hulk is. Come on. I'm the Warhammer fan on this podcast, and I'm not much of a Warhammer fan. Anyway, 68. I was going to be super immature again, but then I realised that could potentially be a draw. And if it does get 69, I'm going to be fucking furious. With myself for being mature. Won't be making that mistake again. Alright, cool. We're locked in. The game comes out on Tuesday, so that's plenty of time for people to make reviews of it this time. Fucking hell. Yeah, we've got a few weeks of indie games before we hit the AAA stuff, which Moody is better at guessing than I am. Like, the indie games is more my wheelhouse. Of like being able to like predict more or less roughly where the scores are gonna land.
No, right.
Moody gets things like, Ori, Doom, Final Fantasy VII. I mean, some of these, you can remember, some of these are really... Warcraft 3 was just a case of, holy shit. We were both like 30 points out. I just happened to guess slightly lower than you.
We both aimed high for Resident Evil 3.
We did.
Like what? I think you were in the 90s and I was at the 90s, or just at the high 80s.
Mine must have been lower than yours, because I got the point for it.
Yeah, I think I went 93, and then I think you went maybe 90.
89, 90.
Like that, yeah.
I didn't go as high as RE2. I remember that much.
Yeah.
Man, I was so disappointed by that game. Especially after I played Resident Evil 3 original. We've got a massive amount of time left. Even with all of our technical issues. Even if I left the one break that I recorded in the podcast, we still got plenty of time left. So I want to start. Because the dream is dead. The dream is over.
Yeah.
The Canucks got eliminated from the Stanley Cup playoffs on Friday night. Technically Saturday morning.
I'm sorry for your loss.
It's okay. We had a very bad game. On Sat. It was Saturday morning. I stayed up and watched the whole thing till like 5 o'clock in the morning. Because like hockey games are like 3 hours long. Like with all the intermissions and stoppages and stuff, it's really cool. Like, we had a good run. Like we were heavily the underdogs because, like, our team is like young. It's like we've been rebuilding for like the last we almost won the cup in like 2000. Shit, when was the big one? It's like 2011, I think. We almost won everything. And then since then, we've kind of like been slowly rebuilding everything. So our team is full of potential, but like we knocked out the last year's champions in the first round, which was that was as far as I thought we were gonna get. Like we're playing the team that won the cup last year. Nah, we ain't getting past them. Yeah, we won. And then we played the next round was like we're playing Las Vegas, who are like the number 1 seed, heavy favorites to win this year, and we took them all the way to Game 7. Like we took it as far as we could, and then we just could not take it any further. Our goalie was immense, unbelievable. Like you could have put a brick, and it was he's a rookie. Our main goalie got injured. So he played the last 3 games of the Vegas series, and he stopped like in one match. In one of the 3 matches, he stopped 48 shots out of 48. Like he could have put a brick wall in goal, and it probably would have let more through than he did. Like I was watching it on Saturday morning, man, and there was a moment where he was on his back, lying down, pointed the wrong way, and he still like fucking got up and saved a shot. And I was like, Jesus Christ.
That goalkeeper deserves a raise, it sounds like it.
It's like his second ever playoff game. Third ever playoff game, and he's so fucking good. But we still lost, unfortunately. But we take the experience, and hopefully we do a bit better next year.
Yeah, take it on the chin. You come back stronger, better than ever.
Everybody's a year older, a year more experienced, a year wiser. We might win.
Exactly.
We might win it in the next few years, hopefully. I feel positive. And it's nice because I have Russell and Keith are both NHL fans. Like, I think they're lapsed at this point because I don't think they've watched it for a while. But, like, their teams, like, over the course of time, because we've been fans for, like, must be like 9-10 years at this point. And for the entire time, their teams have been radically more successful. It is nice to have finally gotten further than them. It's nice, really. It's nice. Yeah. This is the only sport I like. Ice hockey. And a bit of Formula 1. but I don't really like support anything in Formula One. So it's like I just watch it academically. Where it's like I just want everybody to do well, which isn't true. I want crashes and explosions, and someone's brake flew out of their car, like in today's, and it was like that was awesome. And then he crashed through that polystyrene thing, and I was like, "Fuck, this is amazing."
That'll, yeah. So
and again, as long as everybody's safe when they crash, like I don't want anyone to get hurt.
Yeah. Shout out to Peter Gasly, first win ever. Congratulations to him on that. I was so happy for him.
Yeah, I was really
It was a
happy
great
when
win.
not Lewis Hamilton won.
I'll never understand that.
I've
really
got-
don't. It's like it's not his fault that the
All
other
right.
teams suck.
Let me explain it, because I feel like there's a second position that could be taken by other people that we've discussed in the past, which is not my position.
Yeah.
My position is I just want more than one person to win races, and I get that it's not his fault, but you've got to admit it's more exciting when he's not just driving away in front.
I don't deny that. I will never deny that. But at the same time, I'm just like, yo, Red Bull, Ferrari,
Absolutely.
all the other teams, they could build cars that could, keep up with Mercedes, but they don't.
It's like when Keith always inevitably complains about being last in the fantasy game lab. It's like, well, you could have picked better games, mate.
Yeah.
There are some really high-scoring games that me and Moody left on the table.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's got nothing to do with Hamilton. I like Hamilton's fine, and like he is legitimately one of the best Formula One drivers ever. And I get it. It's like I said, it's just more exciting when today it was like Pierre Gasly and Perez and Lance Stroll, like, and that was the top three, and it was like there was a race, Moody. There was a race.
The top three were Gasly, Sainz, and Stroll.
Like the last time I went to Silverstone, Hamilton just drove off, and that was it. But there was a fight for like ages in like 7th and 8th, and it was Verstappen and Vettel, I want to say. Not Raikkonen and a Ferrari, and Vettel and a Red Bull. And that was really exciting because we were sat on a place where they could try to overtake each other all the time, and that was really exciting. But it was also 7th and 8th. Like, it wasn't like first. You know what I mean? Like, first was never in doubt. And it's more exciting when first is in doubt. Like I said about OpenCritic, Fantasy League. First is in doubt, Moody. And that's what makes it exciting.
I understand all of that. I really do. But I just like, I'll never understand, and it's just me. I just don't understand that. How is it the team who's winning's fault? Like, people say it's their fault.
I get other people do.
How's it? Oh, not you. I know you aren't.
Yeah, it's Mercedes' fault that they're so good.
I'm just like, how is it their fault? They hired a team. They created a car around their engine.
Yeah, sure. Like, they built a car, and then the car goes really fast. But it's like all the other teams can also build a car that could go really, really fast, but they haven't.
This is how crazy it is. This is how crazy. Mercedes don't even have the most powerfulest engine there. They were like 17th fastest in the speed trap or something, compared to like Renault and Honda and all like that. And it's just like, no, not 17th, that's a sound right. Like 7th, I think it was. And I'm just like,
there's not that many cars.
Just like, yeah. And I'm just like, wait, they're 7th fastest with their power alone, and it's just like, come on, man. Like, seriously. What the hell? It just makes no sense to me. But yeah. Shout out to Pierre Gasly.
Shout out to Pierre Gasly.
That man's heart.
Thatcher Demko, the Canucks goalie. Yeah, let's shout them both out.
Shout out to both of them.
Both amazing. My Twitter account is now a Thatcher Demko Stan account. I will from henceforth cease talking about video games and will purely post photos of Thatcher Demko.
Understandable.
That
Just so
48
you know,
saves in one game was the highest ever in a playoff game.
yeah,
That
that's
didn't
kind
go into overtime. But
of.
sorry, you were saying. We should probably talk about not sports because I feel like we just lost everybody.
Okay. Yeah, were they ever really here? Let's just be honest.
I wonder how
Did
many
we
people
lose them
make it
already?
this far. But then I wonder how many
You
people.
can find that out.
I wonder how
You
many
have the
people
analytics.
skip to this, like where we just shoot the shit. Because I feel like Keith sometimes does. I feel like he talks about stuff where we're just chatting away, but then like you'll ask him a question about a news story, and it's like he doesn't know anything about it. And sometimes I think he just skips to the post show. So maybe it's
Probably
both,
does
right?
more sense. Yeah, yeah, it really is funny. Yeah, it's crazy. Uh, like
But I think
I
you
don't
want
really
to
know.
say
Like,
and yeah.
no, nothing significant. I can talk about it offline and everything like that. But when it comes to like video games, like right now, like we're in a lull period, obviously because like Microsoft, the PlayStation, and they're playing chicken.
Speak for yourself.
And everything. But you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, there's no like I'm sure there's people who are excited for these consoles and everything like that, but like there's a lot of people I speak to who just I'm not excited for these consoles because they're just like I don't know how I'm going to pay for these things, or
Hello.
I don't even know. We don't even know when these are coming out. Wow, November. Yes, there's a lot of There's a lot of days in November. Which
30.
one is it? Microsoft and Sony tell us this.
I said it, and then I was
What are
like,
they
I have to check to make sure. Yeah,
Yeah,
did the right.
it's just absolutely crazy. Absolutely crazy. Like
I legit
I
don't
don't
know
know.
how I'm gonna pay for it. Like, I'll be upfront. I'll be upfront about it on this podcast. Like, I have £260 saved for a PS5. I can't save very quickly. Like, I don't know. Like, let's say it's 450 for a PS5. I don't know where the other £200 is coming from. I don't think I'm gonna make it that far. Like, it's nuts. Like, the last one was 349. Like,
Yeah,
but I
yeah,
never
most
understand this argument of like, well, it's like, oh, it's got to be like millions of times more powerful than the previous console. Like, does it though?
to
Does
them,
it?
yes, they're not in the Nintendo spot, are they? When a Nintendo don't
Everything
need to
has to
have
look
that.
super duper realistic. Does it though? Because I always feel like what happens is you beef up your power of your console to like whatever. Like Xbox Series X and PlayStation 5 are going to be X times more powerful, right? Than the Xbox One and the PS4. But inevitably, the games that are going to come out on it, because this happens every fucking launch, the games that are going to come out on it are going to be they're going to have overshot the specs, and they're not going to run well. Like, this is what happens at launch every time. Like everything that's happened, apart from the fact that it's September and we don't know very basic facts about the consoles, everything else that's happening around these like imminent console launches is depressingly familiar. And people are acting like stuff like is new, and it's not. It happened in 2013.
That is
Like,
true.
it's nuts.
That is,
And I hate
it is.
fanboys. I'm just throwing that out there as a complete tangent right now. I'm sick of them. I want
Oh,
them gone.
fanboys are the worst.
Get out,
They're
get
stupid.
out,
They're
get out.
idiots. Just leave. Just us. If any of you are here, you can leave. Don't worry, we don't want you.
Yeah. Like, be a
Go away.
fan of gaming, be a fan of specific consoles, but don't be a fanboy. Don't support these companies like their football teams. Because they don't need your support. They don't give a shit about that level of support. And it's just sad when I see people like arguing about Xboxes and PlayStations online, but taking it really seriously. It's just like, oh, man. Oh. Like, people are like, I saw another one, like, completely different thing. I saw some people talking about how Game Pass can't possibly be profitable for Xbox, and that's worrying. And I was like, it might be for Phil Spencer, but that's not your problem. Like, whether Game Pass is profitable or not isn't my problem. Like, I just get to enjoy the fruits of it. Like, that's a problem for, like, accountants who work at Microsoft
Yeah,
and
that's
nobody
the thing
else.
about it. Yeah, it's the thing. It's they just Microsoft. I think people sometimes forget when it comes to Microsoft, when it comes to Xbox, that they are part of Microsoft.
Yes.
Microsoft are $1 trillion valued company, ladies and gentlemen.
Like, they make so much
They're
money.
going to be fine,
They make so
and
much money.
yeah, their Xbox Games Pass is a long-term investment. They know they're not going to make any money on this for quite some time, and they're okay with that because other things are going to mediate this. And they're going to be fine with this,
Like
and
recurring
they
Game
know
Pass
that.
subscriptions.
Yeah, and so if people just got to be like chill, just relax, just relax.
Yeah.
They're
Just
gonna be
chill.
fine.
Just chill.
They want to get the people in and show that they got the stuff to prove to make this why this is the best value in video games. So, like,
Truth.
they're gonna be fine.
Preach. I
Like,
don't know if that was a.
and like, and it's like PlayStation. They're doing their generation thing and going off what the rumors are and everything like that. They're forking out a lot of money to make sure that that PlayStation is the best place to play it. Now, is it anti-consumer where these games are going to go? That's up to you. I don't think it's really anti-consumer
Not
overall because
especially.
they want to, yeah, they just want to sell their console. They want to give you a reason why to play this. Oh, Call of Duty is on here, but it's also on here. Yeah, well, don't worry about that. We've got Final Fantasy 16 and it's exclusive for us. So you come over here and everything like that. And they've probably, I think what's even helped them probably wanting to get Final Fantasy 16, if it is true to be exclusive, is that they probably saw no to sales for Final Fantasy 15, probably on their side, and probably Final Fantasy 7. See how Final Fantasy 7 has
It'd be
been
Final
sold on
Fantasy
their side.
7. Yeah.
Yeah, and they've probably seen,
Hold on a moment.
yeah.
This 30-year-old franchise that's endured through, like, the ages is really popular. Go figure. I find the
Yeah,
things
that's the
that.
thing. I think
Yeah, I find the things that game publishers find surprising sometimes to be really perplexing.
that's the thing. Yeah, you are spot on there. And I think I think people forget, and I think even maybe PlayStation probably forgot themselves that for the longest time, PlayStation were known as the RPG dudes. They took it from
Yeah,
Nintendo. They took that mantle from Nintendo
they did.
when like
When they took Final
Final Fantasy
Fantasy,
was
there was a
yeah
literal passing of the torch.
yeah. So it's like
Like
I don't know
how many
like
amazing JRPGs? And granted, there are some, but like how many
yeah
amazing JRPGs if you played on a Nintendo versus a PlayStation? Like in say the last 7 years, like it's swung so far over to PlayStation. But the thing about PlayStation is like I love their exclusives a lot. Last of Us, God of War, etc. But like we've had this discussion before, so I'm not going to belabor the point. But they are all basically the same game. Like, yeah, that's what interests me about
one thing that helps
Microsoft and
them
what
so
they're doing.
much.
They're making a
Oh,
lot of
sorry.
different types of games,
Yeah.
and that's interesting. Whereas like PlayStation, because once that quality starts dipping, and it will, nothing lasts forever. Um, it's going to quickly become apparent that all of their games are running the same basic formula. And then the diversity of the experiences they're making, like the top level experiences that they're making, is gonna maybe be an issue in like 10 years when
Yeah.
they're in the position of like God of War and Last of Us and Uncharted are all on their like sixth, fifth, fourth, seventh iteration, and all of a sudden it's like people are getting franchise fatigue.
I think when it comes to that, I think they'll change it up. Like I think the Naughty Dog's next game is going to be a new IP personally. And even though yes, I'm pretty sure basically everyone's expecting from San Diego, well not San Diego,
Santa Monica.
Santa Monica.
Do,
It
do,
probably God of
do,
War, the
do.
next one, the sequel for that and everything.
Bam,
But
bam,
yeah, I think they're going to
bam,
start changing up a little bit more, even though of the
bam,
first
bam.
few games that we're getting are basically sequels, like or spin-offs, like Miles Morales and then Horizon 2. But I do believe like Naughty Dog is going to be a new IP and etc. And I think they're going to change it up a little bit, but we'll see. I might be wrong.
Yeah.
But let's go into Naughty Dog. I just want to shout out the article I sent you. Last of Us Part 2, the most completed game on PlayStation 4, in exclusive in the
Yeah, the exclusives,
in
yeah.
their IPs. And I'm just like, no, it didn't sell at all, ladies and gentlemen, at
Yeah.
all.
There was the part, I mean, that was just like, haha, suck it, weirdos on the internet. But also really sad because God of War's amazing.
As well as Last of Us Part 2.
And I
So
want more people to
if it was
finish it.
beaten by if it was beaten by a game that wasn't that good, I could completely understand where you're coming from. But no, yeah, it's I just love. I'm just like, you did do baby.
God of
You
War
thought this
didn't
was
make me
going
feel
to
like
go with.
shit for a week after I finished it. Hey, PlayStation, put that on the box.
Who's gonna do that?
I loved God of War so much. Like, again,
Oh,
like
God of War 5.
when I'm talking about 5. When I'm talking about like PlayStation's games all being the same formula, let me just be straight here. Like, if we sat down and worked out what our favorite games of the generation were, like half of them on my end at least would probably be PlayStation 4 exclusives.
I agree. I think it's going to be something we can look into, isn't it?
Oh,
Best games this generation or something.
yeah, I'm waiting for the generation to end.
That's fair. So what? Maybe early next year or something.
Probably, or maybe like just at the end of this year. It depends, because if I'm trying to like do PlayStation 5 coverage, it's like I probably shouldn't then be looking backwards, and it's complicated. But yes, definitely. Oh, 100%. Like I've been waiting for the moment to do it, but it's like Cyberpunk and stuff still isn't out, so I don't want to pull the trigger on any kind of like best games of the generation in case, the best game of the generation, Bugsnax, isn't out yet. So
that's fair. That's fair. But, yeah.
But yeah, no. I want to very briefly, because we've still got a few minutes, and I feel like I want to talk about this game because I'm not reviewing it. Fucking hell. But like, I want to shout out Crusader Kings III.
Well, for pissing you off?
No, it didn't piss me off. It melted my head, my brain. So like, it's kind of a thing on Twitter. Like, it got like a 91, I think, on OpenCritic. Mm-hmm. It's like been really well received, and it sounds so cool. Like when people are like telling the stories of like the things that are happening to them in the game, and like screenshots and stuff. And there's a few people I know who are really into Crusader Kings 3. Like, and they've got these amazing, ridiculous, hilarious like stories behind it, because it's a strategy game, but it's not focused necessarily on like warfare simulation. Like, but I tried to play it, and it is really complicated. To like all the stuff that's going on in the game, and I tried to play through the tutorial. It was going to be a game I reviewed because it sounds exactly like my kind of thing, but I think it's going to require like a lot of time for me to learn it because I've never played the other two, and I tried and failed to do the tutorial and like learn the game. And I was just learning about, okay, there's vassal stats, and then okay, you've got to appoint people to your council, right? Cool. Now I've got to marry my leader's got to marry. Okay, cool. Now I've got this kid. Oh shit, the kid's really annoyed, really pissed off, and I think he's gonna try and kill me. Oh no, what do I do? Like, oh, the Pope. What? I've pissed the Pope off. Have I pissed the Pope off? Like. And I'm just like floundering under like system upon system upon system, and forgetting to do this and forgetting to do that. And I was like, and I was like, cool, I'm gonna go and play Drake Hollow. That's much simpler. But I really want to get into it. Like, even despite my complete and utter abject failure, I really do want to get into it, because I think once I do, I'll adore it. Like, just from like reading other people's experiences with it. But it's pretty cool. It's historically accurate, but there are settings in the menus. So like if you play the game by its like default, which I guess is the default historical setting of the 14th century,
Yeah.
like men are kings and own lands, and women can't own anything, and you'll probably get set on fire if you have like a same-sex marriages and stuff like that. But there's like settings in the menu where you can just toggle all that shit and like play like alternate history stuff. So like there's 3 settings for like dominant gender, I guess you could say. Where it's like in history in the 14th century, obviously men were dominant. Even though women were far superior and always have been and always will be. But like you can toggle it to be equal. So like both men and women can be like, rulers and landowners and blah 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 whatever. Or you can just flip it completely over to the other way. And there's like a setting where you can just like same sex marriages are just a thing and it's fine. And I was like, that's really cool.
Yeah, so I'm pretty sure I read something about that, and I thought, yeah, that's actually really funny. It's a really good idea, really. It's like you've got the setting for it to be quote unquote accurate,
Yeah.
and then you've got a setting where you can just like please everybody, which is really canny.
Like you can just do whatever the fuck you want. And you know what? I wholeheartedly support any game where there are settings to just do whatever the fuck you want. Like, fuck it. Because who's getting hurt? If I decide to make, a matriarchy and like a harem of lesbian concubines in like 14th century Ireland, who the fuck cares? Except me. And probably the Pope. Who knows? I don't know. That guy's crazy. That's going to do it for episode 222 of the Words About Gamescast. I don't know if this is short, on time, or long.
We'll find out.
Well, I'll find out in the edit. The last time I thought we'd overran, we were spot on. So,
we're getting good.
We are, even, with like multiple technical issues. I don't have a keyboard currently plugged into my computer, which could be a problem.
Yeah, just a little bit. Oh, excuse me. Just a little bit, yeah, I mean.
I've got my old one, so if push comes to shove, my old one's down there. Yeah, I guess play us out, Mooney. It's in a draw.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's been the Words About Gamescast. As always, please be glorious and have a glorious week. I am the glorious one, Mr. Moody, and this is the glorious Amy Kate Alexander. Stay safe and much love.